Yeah, so yesterday we have seen the complete length of ratios. So today we'll start off with proportions, which is the same as ratios, except for the fact that in ratios, when we have seen something like the weights of two people are in the ratio 1:, or let's say weights of two people are in the ratio 5:6, right? When you write this equality in between, this equation of two ratios becomes a proportion. This whole thing is called proportion. Okay. When it comes to properties, this is nothing different from ratios. But what we try to do in proportions is, if I have some inequations, like let's say 2:x is equals to 6:7, find out the value of x. How do you do that? For computations, we always convert the equations first into divisions. So 2 by x is equals to 6 by 7. So if you cross multiply, x is equals to 6 is equals to 14, and x equals to 14 by 6, that is equals to 7 by 3. Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is all there is to proportions. That is different from ratios. All right. So we'll do a few problems first before going into further properties of proportions. Let's say I have something like find out the value of A and tell me. Yes, Mamta, what is the value of A?
A is equal to 1 by 2, ma'am.
A is equals to, so what do you do first? A by 2 by 3 is equals to 3 by 4, right? We are cross multiplying. 4A is equals to 3 into 2 by 3. So A is equals to 2 by 4, that is equals to 1 by 2. This makes sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So, apart from this, we have further notations for proportions. The same question I can ask like, instead of equal to, we put two columns side by side, two ratio symbols side by side is equals. If this is the problem, this and this are the same. Both of them mean that they are in proportion, as in these both ratios are equal. All right. If I say that A 2 by 3, 3 and 4 are in proportion, find the value of A. Then again you'll write this in the same notation. If these four consecutive numbers are in proportion, that means A is to 2 by 3 is equals to 3 is to 4. All right. If I say find the What is the meaning of this then? Find the fourth proportion of 1, 2 and 3. That means there is a fourth value unknown which we have to assume as x and write the equation as 1 is to 2 is equals to 3 is to, 3 is to some x. Now what is the value of x here? Nandini, can you tell me?
X equal to 6, ma'am.
So 1 by 2 is equals to 3 by x. On cross multiplying, x equals to 6. Right? If they say 1, a and 3 are in proportion, find a. If they give only 3 numbers are in proportion, that means right, 1a and 3 are in proportion. If only 3 numbers are given, then you have to write it as 1 is to a equal to a is to 3. All right. Then what is the value of a here? Or make this 4.
A is equal to 2, ma'am.
So 1 by a equal to a by 4. On cross multiplying, a square is equal to 4. So a equal to 2. Right? Okay. Again, we'll see another method of phrasing this question. What is the mean proportion of 1 and 16? That means again you should assume one value between 1 and 16 and write this notation as 1 is to x is equals to x is to 16. What is the value of x then?
4.
4.
Right? So 4 is the mean proportion of 1 and 16. Right? These are the few different ways in which proportions problems can be phrased. So you'll see all these kind of questions in your exercises and in your exam also. All right. I'm assuming that you're taking your notes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll see a few properties of proportions. Okay. So there are few formulas that come with proportions, which are not formulas per se. That is, it's a two-step method into solving the problem. So they are forming them as formulas so that you'll remember them and you do your problem faster. So we'll talk about those formulas, but when you're doing the question, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. All right. So if I have A is to B is equals to C is to D as my proportion, my first rule is that A into D is equals to B into C. That is product of outers is equals to product of inners. Do we actually need to do this all the time? I'd prefer doing that. A by B is equals to C by D. You know that. So AD is equals to BC. This is how I got my formula. If you think that it is unnecessary to remember this, you can always do it from the fraction. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? So, then what is AD is to BC? What is this ratio? Anyone? Lavanya? Nandini? What is the value of AD is to BC? What is this ratio?
A is to B equal to C is to D.
A is to B equals to C is to D is my condition. I agree. Okay, this is a given. So, from this I found out that AD is equals to BC. Then what is the ratio of AD is to BC? What can I write this as? AD by BC, right? In AD by BC, what is AD equal to? BC again, right? So, it's both the same. So, that is equals to 1 by 1. So, AD is to BC is equals to 1 is to 1. Can I say that? Bhavani, does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Nandini?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Again, I have the same condition. A is to B equals to C is to D. All right. So, from this I know A by B is equals to C by D. This is how we write it in the fraction equation.
Yes, ma'am.
Then, if I do plus 1 on both sides, it's the same thing because I'm doing plus 1 on both sides. I can easily cancel it on both sides. So, if I do LCM, A plus B by B is equals to C plus D by D. Right? If I do cross multiplication and rearrange, A plus P by C plus D in the denominator is equals to B by D. Right? Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So same goes for negative also. Again, if you take A instead of plus, this will become minus. So A minus B by C minus D is equals to also B by D. Yes? If we divide both these equations, then A plus B by A minus B is equals to C plus D by C minus D. All right? I hope this is a condition you won't need to use. But this is one of the, this equation number 1 is called componendo. Because you are adding. Equation number 2 is called dividendo. If you do both componendo and dividendo, you will arrive at equation number 3. These are few of the not formulas that you have in your textbook. We'll see the applications of these problems in your exercises. So you should be able to solve them if you come across them. All right. Now, we'll move on to the next question. Can Lavanya? No? Okay. Nandini, can you read the question for me?
If A is to B is equal to C is to D equal to 2.5 is to 1.5, what are the values of A, B is to B, C and A plus C is to B plus D?
A plus C is to, so they gave you the proportion and they are asking to find these individual ratios. Yeah. So first one you have AD is to BC. So I need only these both small parts. So if A is to B equals to C is to D, what is the value of AD is to BC? We have seen earlier. What is AD is to BC?
1.
1 is to
1.
1, right? If you don't remember that, again, still do this. A by B is equals to C by D. On cross multiplication, AD is equals to BC. So when you have AD is to BC, you know that both these values are equal. So AD is to BC should be equal to 1 is to 1. Right? Now we'll go to the second part of the problem. So I'll write this in factor form. So A by B is equals to C by D equals to 2.5 by 1.5. First of all, I don't want decimals in my ratios. So what is the simplified value of this? 2.5 by 1.5.
5 by 3.
It is equals to 5 by 3. Very good. So did everyone understand how we came to 5 by 3? Mamta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, did you understand how we came from 2 by 5, 2.5 divided by 1.5 to 5 by 3?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, super. So when you do individual ratios, if you take, A by B is equals to 5 by 3, right? If I cross multiply, A is equals to B into 5 by 3, right? Same goes for C by D also. C by D is equals to 5 by 3. So C is equals to D into 5 by 3. Now I have A and C separately. Yes? Now try to do this problem. Mamata, read this question out for me. Or did you read the last question also?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, then Nida, read this question out for me, please.
If A by 3 is equal to B by 4 is equal to C by 7, then prove that A plus B plus C by C is equals to 2.
All right. I'll write down the first line of this problem, as in I'll write down the first equation, the first condition that I want to take. From then, the rest of the problem you only have to do. Okay. I'll take all of these three. A by 3 equals to B by 4 equals to C by 7 equal to some K. Now go on from here. All the only thing you need to do in ratios and proportions is, first of all, if it's not in uh, what do you call that? Sorry. First of all, if it's in ratio form, write it into numerator and denominator form. Then whatever it is there, try to remove it so that cross multiply. Okay, only two rules: ratio form to factorial form, and then cross multiplication. So do this problem and prove this. Or you know what to get already. That's why this is no fun. Wait a minute, I'm changing the problem. Find out what the value of a plus b plus c by a plus b is equal to. Because proving that it is there is very easy for you. I'll give you 2 minutes. Anyone who is done can unmute yourself and tell me the answer. Anyone?
Ma'am, so A is 3K, no ma'am?
Yeah.
A is 3K, B is 4K, and C is 7K. And value of K is 1.
Why?
We have to like divide it, ma'am. So like
You don't need to take the value of any k as anything, right? Let it be there.
Okay.
K. Okay. So tell me, what will happen here? A plus B plus C is equals to
3
3K.
plus 4 plus, yeah,
How much is that?
3K, 10K,
3 plus 4 is
7,
7 plus 7.
14K, 14K,
Yeah. By A plus B is.
7, 7K,
So K and K you
2,
can
ma'am.
cancel anyway.
2.
Yeah. So this is also equal to 2. Right? Super.
Yes, ma'am.
So who will read this? Bhavani, can you read this question for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is everyone else done with the previous question? Amata?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, cool.
A dealer mixes tea costing rupees 6.92 per kg with the tea costing rupees 7.77 per kg and sells the mixture at rupees 8.80 per kg and earns a profit of 17 into 1 by 2% on his sale price. In what proportion does he mix them?
Okay. So he's asking if I have 1 kg of my whole mixture tea, this mixture, what is the ratio of first type of tea is to second type of tea? Because 1 kg is my total. What is the ratio in grams? That's what he's asking for. Right? Does that make sense? This is what he's asking me for. So the proportion that I need to find is x is to y, some unknown. So what is the condition that he gave me? He is taking 6.92 the first type of tea, x, costs 6.92 per kgs. So what is the cost if in proportions I am taking x grams of first one? How much cost is it? 6.92 into x. I'm talking about cost price simply. Cost price of making that tea. So for first tea, it is 6.92 per kg. And for second tea, it is 7.77 per kg. Right? But you're selling it, the whole mixture, at 8.80. Selling price is equals to 8.80 per kg. Right? And my profit is 17.5 on the sale price. Does this make sense? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are doing the whole calculation based on the fact that, let's say, they're purchasing 1 kg so that we can take all of these as absolute values, right? So if you're selling 1 kg, you'll get 8.80 rupees. For 1 kg, the profit will be 17.5% of 8.80. So x and y will be both less than 1. For 1 kg, if you're adding both of these mixtures, x plus y should be equal to 1 kg, right? Because this tea is a mixture of both of these. Right? Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is my first equation. Now what is you're all commerce students. What is the equation of cost price, selling price and profit?
Profit is equals to selling price minus cost price.
Profit equals to selling price minus cost price. So for cost price, I have 6.92 rupees into X plus 7.77 rupees into Y, because we don't know what these proportions are yet. So we don't know how much amount is 6.92 and how much amount is 7.77. This is my profit. Can you simplify this and give me a small number? What is this? Mixed fraction is 2 into 17 plus 1 by 2. So 34 by 2 into 8.8 by 100. Right? I'll write this as it is because it will go in cancellations anyway. Is equals to selling prices 8.80 minus cost prices 6.92x minus 7.77y. So these both are negative, so I'll bring them to this side. So 6.92x plus 7.77y is equals to 8.80 into 8.80 minus 8.8 into 35 by 200. Can you tell me the simplified value of this equation? Simplify this and tell me. Someone with calculators, please jump on it.
1452.
1452. No divided by, no multiplied by, nothing like that.
You have to take LCM over there, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is equals to, how can it be 1452? Divided by 200 also should be there, right?
7.26.
7.26.
7.26. Yeah, numerator
0.26.
1452 is correct. Divided by 200 is 7.26. So this is my second equation. So I have two linear equations with two unknowns. Can I solve these both? We'll do this easily. Multiply the first equation completely by 7.26. Or what? By 7.26. Sorry. By 6.92. If you subtract, what is this value? Anyone? What is y equal to? 0.34 by 0.85 is equals to
0.4.
0.4. X plus y equal to 1. We know that. So what is x equal to?
0.6.
0.6. So if we may take 0.6 kgs of first type of tea and 0.4 kgs of second type of tea to form 1 kg of this new mixture tea, you'll get a profit of this, right? That is the proportion that they're asking for. So x is to y equal to 0.6 is to 0.4. What is the simplified form of this?
0.3 is to 0.2.
Remove the points also.
3 is to 2.
3 by 3 is to 2. Super. Right? Does this problem make sense? So take 2 minutes and go through the entire problem. Read the question properly from the first again and see what we did step by step. Oh, why 2 minutes? Take 4 minutes and go through the problem. Read the problem first. Then look at what I took, what I assumed first, and see which formulas that I wrote, and then what calculations that I did. Okay. Okay. I think we are done with ratios and proportions part till here. So some of you have told me that you have doubts in ratios. So if you point me out to those problems, we can see the doubts now. We'll start off with indices and logarithms in next class. So tell me the problem number. I have your textbook. Who was the one who was telling me? Nandini or Mamata?
Mamta ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, 11th problem.
In exercise 1A, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what part didn't you understand in this? The compounded part? Mamta?
Yes, ma'am.
Rest all we have done, right? What is the duplicate ratio of 4 is to 5?
16 and 25. 16 is to
16 is to 25. What is the triplicate ratio of 1 is to 3?
1 is to 27.
1 is to 27. Subduplicate ratio of 8 is to 256. What? Sorry, 81 is to 256. Subduplicate means square root, right?
9 is to
9 is to
16. And subtriplicate ratio of 125 is to 512. That is cubed root. 5 is to
8.
what is this?
8.
8. All right. He's asking the compounded ratio. Compounded ratio means, okay, this is something that I was telling in last class. Multiplication of all the first parts is to multiplication of all the second parts. So 16 into 1 into 9 into 5 is to 25 into 27 into 16 into 8. So how will that be? 16 is, sorry. Sixteen into 1 into 9 into 5 is to 25 into 27 into 16 into 8. So 16, 16 I can cancel. 5 fives, 9 threes. Yeah. So what do I have left? 1 is to 5 into 3 into 8. 15 eights are
120.
120.
120.
So compounded means product of all the first terms into product of all the last terms. Does this give you the answer? This is what 11th question. Okay. What is the next one?
14. Ma'am.
What? 14. Huh. So the angles of triangle. Yeah, the angles of triangle are in the ratio 2 is to 7 is to 11. And he's asking what the angles are. So when you are finding the actual values of these, what do you do first thing? First thing we take is unknown x. So these actual numbers will be 2x, 7x and 11x. Do we remember this?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the unique property of angles of a triangle?
all the interior angle is equal to 180 degrees.
Sum of angles of a triangle is equal to
180 degree.
80 degrees.
180 degrees. Right? So you have, these are the three angles of my triangle. 2x plus 7x plus 11x is equal to 180. What is the value of x?
9.
X is equals to 9. So what are the three angles here? 2 into 9, that is 18 degrees.
63 degree.
18 degrees, 63 degrees and
99 degree.
99 degrees. Right? So this is the key aspect to know of this problem, that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. Right? So what about the next one? Next, which question do we need to take?
21st, ma'am.
21st. 2s is to 3t is the duplicate ratio of two s minus p is to 3t minus p. Then he is asking the relation between p, s and t, right? So what is the duplicate ratio of this? 2s minus p whole square is to 3t minus p whole square, right? He's saying this is the duplicate ratio of this. So this is equals to 2s is to 3t. Can we write it in fractional form? 2s minus p whole square by 3t minus p whole square is equals to 2s by 3t. Now I'll do so 2s minus p whole square into 3t is equals to 3t minus p whole square into 2s. From here onwards, it's just a matter of expanding and multiplying. So a minus b whole square is equals to?
A square minus B square.
Is it? Okay. Back to basics in algebra. A plus b.
A
Square.
minus 2ab plus b square.
Okay. We'll write this first.
A square minus 2ab plus b square.
Okay. These are like the Holy Trinity. Okay. Very important. All right. Note them down in the first page of your notebook because they are very, very important. Right. Going back, this is a minus b whole square as 2s square minus 2 into 2s into p plus p square into 3t is equals to 3t whole square plus minus 2 into 3t into p plus p square into 2s, right? So we'll expand this, multiply this with each and every term inside. This is 2s whole square as 4s square into 3t, that is 12s square t minus 2 into 2 is 4, 4sp into 3t, 4 3s are again 12spt plus p square into 3t is 3t p square. Again same on the both side, other side. 3 square is 9, 9 into 2, 18 t square s minus 2 3s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 12 tps again, so 12 stp plus p square into 2s is plus 2p square s. What is common on both sides? Minus 12 spt stp, same thing, right? Yes. So 12 square t minus plus 3tp square is equals to 18t square s plus 2p square s. Okay, I need to get p square in terms of s and t. So I'll bring the p square to one side. 3t p square minus 2p square s is equals to 18t square s minus 12 s square t. Right? So what is common here? P square into 3t minus 2s is equals to, what is common out of these both? What is the common factor for 18 and 12? 6, 1t and 1s are common. So if you take 6 out, this is 3t minus 2s. 3t minus 2s is common on both sides. So p square is equals to 6st is my condition. So now tell me, do you have multiple choice questions or do you have descriptive questions? Anyone? Mamata? Multiple choice or descriptive in your exam?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice, right? So what you'll do is, instead of doing all of this huge calculation with variables, the first thing you should do when you have this problem is substitute values of S, P and T as 3 random, non-zero and non-1 numbers. Okay, so that you can tell the difference between options. Take S is equals to 2, P is equals to 3 and T is equals to 4. Now first of all write this equation. So I have 2s minus p whole square is to 3t minus p whole square is equals to 2s is to 3t, or sorry, take two values. Take the values of, don't take value of p, take value of s is equals to 2 and p is equals to 3 and substitute it here. Sorry, t is equals to 3 and substitute it here. Alright. Now what will you get? 2 into, or we'll take the reverse because that will make it easier for me here. S is equals to 3 and t equals to 2. So if you substitute S is equals to 3, 2 into 3 is 6 minus p. Sorry. S is equals to 2 and t is equals to 3 it is. 4 minus p whole square is to 9 minus p whole square is equals to 4 is to 9. Right? So for this condition, try to apply each and every one in your options. First one is p square is equals to 6st. Right? That is my answer. So, okay, first one is, I won't do the first one first. A is equals to p square is equals to 6st. Go by elimination always. Okay. P is equals to 6st. C is equals to 2p is equals 3st and D is none. So first thing, I'll check the first one. If I put S and T is equals to 2 and 3, what is the value of P according to first one? P square is equals to 6 into 2 into 3, that is 6 square. So P is equals to 6. Yes? If you substitute P is equals to 6 in this one, will LHS be equal to RHS? So 4
Yes, ma'am.
minus 6 whole square is minus 2 whole square is to 9 minus 6 whole square is 3 square. That is 4 is to 9 is equals to 4 is to 9. So when you have problems like this, take some random numbers and try to solve it. Okay, don't do the whole problem. Instead, do substitution in both the question and the answer and see which one will match. Does it make sense, Mamata?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then what is the next question?
Nineteenth, ma'am.
Okay. X is to y equal to 3 is to 4. So x square y plus. Hey, you can do this according to today's, right?
Yes, ma'am.
X square y plus xy square is to x cube is to y cube. Sorry, is to x cube plus y cube. So x by y equals to 3 by 4. So we can take them as 3k and 4k, right? Assume the values as 3k and 4k and substitute here. 3k square is 9k square into 4 plus, sorry, 4k plus 3k into 16k square by 3 cube is 27k cube plus 16 fours are 64k cube. What is common in both? K square into k is k cube. Here also k into k square is k cube. So take k cube common. 9 fours are 36 plus 16 threes are 48. Here also take k cube common. 27 plus 64. You can cancel off k cubes. Then tell me what is the ratio.
16 is to 13.
16 is to 13.
12 is to 13.
12
12
by
is to
13. Right? Okay. Whenever you have unknowns, always assume as k, because when you are doing division, it is obvious that they'll always be cancelled. If you are too confident about that also, remove k. Whenever they give x is to y is equals to 3 is to 4 and they ask for another ratio, always assume x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 4, because anyway the additional factor will be divided. Okay, so unnecessarily don't accommodate this. Take x is equals to 3, y is equals to 4 and solve the problem. Is it all right? Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next. Oh,
20.
we're done with the yeah, tell me 20.
20.
20. Again, this is the same kind of problem as earlier, right? Take some random value as p and q. 1 or 2, 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, and try to find the first thing he's saying is P is to Q is the subduplicate ratio of P minus x square is to Q minus x square. If this is the subduplicate ratio of this, then this is the duplicate ratio of this. Or let's not go there. This is the subduplicate ratio of this they are saying, right? That means root of P minus x square is to, or divided by Q minus x square is equals to P by Q. Right? This is the condition that they gave, and he's asking for the value of x square. Substitute, because these are under roots, substitute P is equals to some 4, or yeah, take P is equals to 4 and Q is equals to 9, and substitute in both the question and answer. Then you will get the value of x square for whatever it is matching. Can you try to do that with this 20th problem? And in next class, we'll see if you don't get it again. Is it fine, Mamata?
Yes, ma'am.
Like we did with this problem. Where is this thing? Like we did here, substitute the two values, except the value that you are about to find, except for x square, substitute these P and Q and try to see which of the answers is giving you the correct value. All right. So we ran out of time today. That's all right. If you have any more doubts in ratios, do also the problems behind proportions. Both of these doubts we'll see at the end of next class again in the same way. And we'll start off indices and logarithms. Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are done for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.